loosen it so you can take it down to everyone else's.
Oh, okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Potato Mike, and this is San Marcos Poetry Night. Thank you so much. Yay! That's right. So I hope you all are doing pretty well. I'm doing good. I am tired as hell, but I'm here, so I'm happy, and y'all are here, so I'm even happier. So that's awesome, because otherwise I'd be here by myself, and you'd be like, this dude needs to leave. There's not an audience. So anyway, this is the rules. We have 3 rounds of poetry. There is a sign-up sheet right over here. If you have not signed up on the sign-up sheet or told me to sign you up, then you need to do so. And we have, after the end of each round, we have a little 10-minute break. Then we do next round, and that's round 3. We all have fun. We love each other. It's a fantastic time. It's probably one of the greatest nights you'll ever have. And with that, yes. So far. With that being said, we're going to start right off with Thom. Everybody hear Thom? Yay!
I was thinking today about the Greek people and how the banks have screwed them. A bailout by the IMF means the IMF gives money for the banks, and the French and German can take their money back that they've lent temporarily with high interest rates exorbitant. No one on the Greek pension gets to have a pension anymore. You have a penchant for democracy? It's been taken from Greece, so obviously. And what do you see in the mass mediated? You see their version of events, Nicolas. They say that Greece can't afford to pay. Old people, young people, ain't no job, 25% unemployment. Well, Italy and Spain have got almost that too. So what's so unique about the Greek culture? It's not just the tzatziki, it's not just the diet, Mediterranean, although that's healthy. There's something about the culture that began in small spaces, in little villages, and philosophers stood up and were ostracized from their own community. If they did not meet or greet those people who wanted them to speak of the truth of what it meant to be Greek, not Spartan, not Macedonian, but the Greek culture is a culture of small individualism, from which you say, what has this got to do with me? Well, you are part of a nascent democracy. Ah, did he say democracy? It began in Greece. Theocritus, Anaximander, every philosopher posited that we are more than just particles in motion. All atomic theory began when someone had an idea that all science and mathematics begins with philosophy. Poetry, of course, became part of this. But then, what happens? The written word displaces this oral word. Plato writes about the last days of Socrates. When I worked for the Greek John Grathania, building an aged home, he told me stories of dancing in the Acropolis when he was young. And he told me about the Greeks as if they were living in this room. He said, did you know about Pythagoras? I said, yes, Pythagoras. The sum of the square and the hypotenuse equal to the sum of that. He said, no. You must understand, Pythagoras was regarded as a bit of a nutcase. The village all laughed at him because he lived in a cave. He was a recluse, like all spiders and poets. And when he came into town, they called him Pythagoras. Pith, red mud, agora, place of. He was named after the cave he dwelled in. He said, did you know about Socrates? I said, sure. Socrates had to take the hemlock for corrupting Athenian youth. He said, no. Socrates was a gadfly. He made important speeches that no one wanted to hear. And he did them under the olive tree. And the people got annoyed at free speech. But before they made him take the hemlock, which he did voluntarily, before he was immortalized by Plato, because Socrates, like Jesus, wrote nothing at all, he had 2 wives. He was bisexual. And after carousing with the youth of Athens, he would come home to his shrewish wife Xanthippus, and she would welcome him by emptying the piss pot on his head. Now that brought philosophy right down to me. When you ask why we are rescuing a democracy, today on the fake book I saw someone starting Indiegogo who said, did you see it too? He wants to save the Greek people by having every person in the EU send €3 or buy Greek wine, Retsina, or buy calamari or olives, whatever it is, but to trade the way back to independence. Because economic independence is only one form. Soon on the 4th of July we'll celebrate a form of independence. But cultural independence is why we're here this evening. And cultural independence relies upon every person being treated well and equally. At the moment in Greece, because of the banks and the IMF, old people are ignored, young people are ignored, and the people in the middle are just ignored too. So I appeal to you, in the best of Greek that's inside you, if ever you've eaten Greek yogurt or had Greek salad, or you understand what democracy is, freedom of speech and assembly, pre-4th of July in this country, think a little Greek, Eucharisto, and know that democracy tonight will rely on every voice in this room. And what you say will change everything. But that's up to you.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Thom. And Scott.
Scott, yes.
Scroll back up. Just for the people that are just joining us, if you would like to read, just let me know, and I will put you on the list right over here. So coming up next, okay, who do we've got? Oh man, okay, all right, we've got this guy coming up, and just be nice to him. You know, he's kind of, you know, anyway, it's me!
Whoa, wow.
Yeah, I totally meant to do that because I was doing a thing, you know.
Sure you did.
Yeah. Wow, that was something else. All right. It's been a while. I still haven't. This is still kind of old stuff, but I haven't read it in quite a while, so hopefully you forgot. It's called "Wake Up to This." Wake up to the sight of a dozen crows perched on the horizon, and the dream of Dorothy becoming a fickle thing, and her ruby-toed goodbye being a sour sort of thing. Because now a swollen bruise hangs in the sky, and the crows won't stop cawing. Wake up to find there's no place like a home that's haunted. There's no reason to fear the dark, but reason enough to save yourself. It's the do or die test. The water is coming, it's a sink or swim race. Now try and run with your dreamer's legs and your clown shoes. Wake up to the racket of a dozen crows ready to roost. There's a murder causing hell over your roof, ready to rain away any chance of a parade if you don't claim your higher ground. Wake up to the panic of there's no time left on the clock. The storm is here and the flock has found their cuckoo nest. Ready or not, you better fly and finally soar like the rest. So take heart, still your mind, summon old courage, and forget the crutches. They're only handicaps on this brick road. Wake up to the alarm of a dozen years dreaming. So encumbered by your heavy coat of slumber, you fight familiar demons masquerading as nightmares, discouraging you from leaving a house now flooding, making mute this place you called home, where now only the crows sit and the water waits. Wake up to find Dorothy had bailed from this merry-go-round, left a note saying you weren't ready this go-around, that the storm is here and you're still struggling with the baggage, still sluggish from a longish slumber, yet to comprehend the emergency of sobriety. Wake up to the sound of sirens singing the murder song, and you cursing out your best swan song. The ship is sinking, abandon all ye sleeping, make out for land. No time for weeping, break past the line of constant return. This time, wake up. For real. Thank you. And coming up next we have Louise! Get up for Louise! Yay! How do you do that? Oh, that's just, alright, that's fine.
It's okay.
I'll just stop being a moron.
No.
Yeah.
I'm going to read 2 bell-shaped poems tonight. See, I said the shape of a bell. Anyway, the next one, it helps if you know what the word Alamo really means, but this is something else. I wrote this last year. It's about summer. I think it started in London, the street south of Houston Street, which we would call Houston. It's called Soho, that area south of Houston. And they did the same thing in New York when the English took it from the Dutch in New Amsterdam. And so in South Austin, they're starting to get very trendy now. So South Congress is now SoCo. And I used to live there, but they were just changing it to SoCo when I left 12 years ago. This is called Summer on SoCo. Cool still is a morning in July. Bake is each afternoon in August. Texas summer radiates from every surface as I walk toward dusk in that soup of yellow air. Aromas heightened for the better and for the worse. Tortillas infusing the consciousness of my opened nostrils. Western sunlight penetrating buildings, trees, and passers-by. I battle uphill on the SoCo slant, bound for tacos and cool shade, hoping darkness will relieve, that iced tea with lemon will quench, while sunshots pop through leaves of sycamore, pecan, and live oak. Outside an Austin restaurant window when air conditioning envelops me, steam rises from fresh enchiladas suizas with Spanish rice and refried beans, and I am content at last to fill belly and soul with the warmth of Tex-Mex bliss.
Amen to that. Tex-Mex bliss. All right, thank you so much. Coming up next, we've got Robin. Everybody give it to Robin. Yay!
This one is kind of not finished. It makes a better story than a poem, but I've had fun writing it, so I'll try to do finished ones after this. My first job was on the 68th floor of the Empire State Building. I used to fly paper airplanes out the window when my bosses went to lunch or to visit clients. I thought I was escaping the 9-to-5 world myself, but now I see the gesture was incomplete. It's not that I actually needed to jump to make the window a passageway. Rather, I should have written poems on all that striped yellow legal paper. Give and you will find. Anyway, thanks.
Awesome, thank you. To those that have just joined us, if you haven't heard me say, if you would like to read, just get a hold of me, or you can come up here, there's a list, you can just sign your name, and that's all you gotta do. It's pretty easy. All right, coming up next, we've got more people signing up. Yeah.
Oh, good.
That's always good to come up next. That can keep happening. Oh, hey, dude, is that yours? Someone said Nick. Nick.
It is now.
Yeah, well then there you go.
I didn't think I'd see it again.
Yeah, but yeah, a poet was reunited with his journal. That is such a that is a beautiful thing.
It is.
That's a very special thing. All right, coming up next, we've got this guy. Give it up for Roscoe. Roscoe!
This is a short one. My skeleton melts into a soup, merging with the grass that tickles each of my joints. colors shift, shape, and shatter my retina, like a celestial upchuck onto my psyche. I get the feeling of swimming through primordial soup, something sacred, something ancient. Symbols, signs, and synchronicities lift a veil on my programmed reality. I catch a glimpse of the pure light and resonance of a universe within.
Awesome, thank you. And coming up next, we've got Cynthia. Everybody here for Cynthia! Yay!
In the face of war, a hidden violet blooms on a silent forest floor. An egret flies low through the early morning river fog. Spider webs on a farm fence sparkle like stars with morning dew. Newly formed fingers and toes dance in a mother's womb. A butterfly lights on a child's red sleeve, and a soldier calls out, mother, with the last breath of life.
Wow. I was all like, oh, this is really beautiful. And then that last line. Like, oh, wow.
Gotcha.
Oh, that's good. And coming up next, we've got Debangana. Everybody give it Debangana. Yay! And Scott.
Yeah!
The dynamic duo.
There we go. Thank you for that forward there. You want it
You
out?
want to take
Okay.
it out? It doesn't need to be wrapped around.
So this time it's a correspondence poetry series with Scott. First, you start?
Sure. Okay. I normally don't hold these things to this.
Here.
I'll give it a shot.
I was given two hands, to have, to hold, to caress, to cajole, heal, play, love, to let go. Oh, but how the stars look in on us from time to time.
Stars trembling on the water held in my hands. It is dawn almost. Who played a familiar tune on the other side? Whose hand was it? Awake the whole night.
I see eyes, but know not who is behind them. Feel love, but know not whose heart is beating within mine. I am lost. Then remember. Know I have held your face, kissed your hands, and all is right with the world, not against it.
Searching for whom do I lose my way? I never asked. Two travelers lost. Will they ever meet again? I never asked. Love walks in my shadows, hiding. Why do you hide? I never asked. I am already losing my way inside your shadows.
Light, dark, who knows? Yet each of us do indeed know them each by parts. Yet from one or many, love pours in to each of us. Drink deep, satisfy your every thirst, and I will replenish myself with thoughts of you.
Lest I become drunk, quenching all my thirst, I cry alone at the river bank, like drunkards do. Lest the river dries, thirst unquenched, march of truth thickens, like intensifying thirst.
We all go down to the riverbank, some to wash clothes, others to drink and bathe, yet others to talk, watch the sun set or moon rise. All the while, Old Man Oak hears the water go by.
Thank you.
thanks. All right. Coming up next, we've got Claudia. Everybody give her a Claudia! Yay!
This one is called I Wish I Could Be Naked in the Rain Right Now. I wish I could be naked in the rain right now. God's tears cleaning the surfaces I neglect. His licks on the underside of my breast. Hot and cold fluids beating me from above to coat and cleanse. He touches me just to touch, no other pretense. I wish I could be naked in the rain right now. The gentle cries drowning out the violent ones. Flooding the earth like you do the bathtub right before you soak in your own dirt. Secretly wishing to be struck by lightning. And hoping the external pleasure was worth the wide-term pain. But if not, do I really give a fuck? What happens is done and can't be undone. So if you hurt someone, you'll have to come to terms with that and not run. Science says that no matter the pace you take, you get the same amount of wet. Keeping that in mind, it's more about who did you leave behind and what else did you forget. Are you living in the present? Did you take that advice and give that consent? I know it hurts, but is it even worth the pain if you can't take your mind off things and dance naked in the rain?
Oh, that's great. Thank you. I'm glad you talked too about possibly getting hit by lightning, because I know that would be the luck. If you're outside dancing in the rain naked, that would be the time to get hit by lightning. All right. Coming up next, we've got Scott. Everybody give it over, Scott. Great Scott!
Can y'all in the back hear okay? Because it seems real quiet to me. Y'all hear okay? I think you're okay. First, Jack, is actually here. He sort of knows this since I do everything improv. It's better to give what he calls them templates. You have a template, you have sort of an idea in your head, you want to get out of your head. The idea I had driving here earlier today was how life is like a strawberry pot. Does everybody know what a strawberry pot is? No. A strawberry pot is at Home Depot, and it's a little ceramic pot, but out of it, the little holes on the sides, it has these little holes on the sides of it. And the strawberry vines grow out of the pot all the while. They grow out of the top, they grow out of the sides, they grow out of everywhere. To me, we are all strawberry vines. So, okay. Oh. Now, I gotta make up stuff. Stalling. I wonder sometimes what it is that motivates a writer to put pen to paper, or a painter to put brush to canvas. And I think about the fact that inside my brain there's an idea, a vision, a thought that has to be made real. And a reoccurring image I have is the idea that, oh, let's play it. Here we go. Somewhere I heard a long time ago at a state park somewhere around south here, that somebody said, man, if you come in this park, leave it as you found it. Now, how the hell am I going to do that if I'm trying to make the world a better place? So I sit there and I say, okay, I'll go into my Zen garden, I'll go into my writing workshop, but I won't leave a goddamn thing. So how do I do that? I say, no, take it all with you, man. Take all those poems, those paintings, those faces. Take all those ideas, those wonderful things, those videos, whatever. Take them with you, because you can't leave them here, because you got to leave it the way it was. Then it strikes me that inside of everybody in this room is a consciousness. Perhaps just as dark, or perhaps just as light, or demon, or shine, or whatever little stardust thing he wants to do. That's where you leave your mark. Let the paintings rot. Let persistence of memory, and like we're not going to turn to dust. I don't care, but somewhere inside somebody there's a heartbeat that says, man, he said something that meant something to me. Later on, I'm going to hear things from people, and I'm going to go someplace else, but it's not going to be into my universe, or my world, or my ideas. It's going to be going into that dark place that is the black hole, that is you. But it doesn't have to be so darn dark. Every day the sun rises. Every day there's enough love to go around between at least you and your neighbor. Maybe not the whole wide world, but at least somebody you know. So if you need a hug, man, ask for it. Someday it's my vision that you'll see a stranger on the street and say, hey buddy, or a girl, a gal, whatever, you look like you could use one. And it will be good.
Oh! Check that.
Thank you so much, Scott. That was awesome. I enjoyed that. I like how when you started off, you're kind of sort of doodling around, you're sort of searching, and then right all of a sudden you just picked up the tin. Man, you took off. That was great. All right. Cool. So coming up next, we've got Vasilina. Everybody, give it up, Vasilina! Yay!
Yeah, well, I've been to St. Marcus several times, but never knew that there is this reading here, and I'd say the town looks completely different once you know that there is such an event here. So this poem is called ID. I wanted to pierce my brow, but I hadn't my ID. I told them, hey, it's my body, and I can do with it whatever I want. That's exactly the point, they replied. We have to make sure this body is actually yours.
Man, that was the perfect time for just a little dump-dumps. Like that was great. Very well delivered. All right. Coming up next, we've got Morgan. Morgan, everybody give her Morgan. Yay!
And this is your first time here, right?
Yeah. This is called Cassiopeia, and it's about anxiety. I've also never done this before, and I'm a little bit nervous, but it's okay. It's hard to relate when you feel too big for your body. An entity with wavelengths expounding to infinity. A heartbeat resounding and pounding its way out of the ribs who've proven too slight to cage in all that you've become. Your identity isn't the skin that holds you prisoner. An inmate of the earth, shackled to time and space, you're made of stars. The sadness that seems to overcome you is nothing more than a longing to be home, to be nothing with everything, yet again. So let yourself explode, sweet Cassiopeia, it's okay to let go. The silent screams that exhaust your frail frame manifest in meteor showers. Solar beauty, you have all you need. Inhale and look up, for the very galaxies you find yourself wishing upon are simply a mirror.
You know, I just want to point out that she read a poem about anxiety the very first time that she had ever read poetry before, which is a very anxiety-inducing thing. So that was awesome. All right, coming up next we have, is it Love? L-O-V?
You can call me Love if you want to.
Hey, yeah, all right. Well, you tell us what it is. Give it up for Love. Yeah!
Howdy. I didn't bring my journal, but I read this morning, and I hope you like it. A rustle, the jerk of your hair, the kiss of our morning sun. Rise and shine with the person you used to love. The familiar game we played, dancing the daily routine. Thoughts went from lovely to love to something obscene. Just out of bed and already stuck, back to the lure of your favorite drug. Before you stretch your back, the hair of the dog that bit you last is cracked and cooled and running past your lips. And you can open your eyes now. You do anything to find out. Why? How? Eyes are wide but blind now. Fingers working overtime, looking like you're throwing signs. Onset of coat and high. Look in the mirror like, I don't even know this guy.
Awesome, thank you. All right, coming up next, we've got Mary.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Really? I mean, I didn't, if I signed that thing, I didn't know that I was going to have to read. And I can't find my journal. I promise you, it is lost.
Memory.
Should we believe her?
Yes, please.
Okay.
All right.
Just this
I
one.
did.
A likely story, lady.
I promise
I signed up for the sign-up sheet, but I didn't think I'd have to read. All right.
First time I've been here.
All right, it's all good.
Forgive me.
All right. All right. We'll pass it. You'll have to pass a test later, though. It'll be okay, though. All right. So coming up next, we've got Mark. Everybody, give it up for Mark! Yay! And Mark is tall.
This one is called Proof of Life. My soul has grown deep like a river. Believers gather upon the shores, intoning beatitudes collected from tomes of bone. Weary soldiers home from bloody wars. Ancient griot tales invoke stupendous spells designed to free the mind and release the body from time. The power of collective thought, collective words soar free like birds. Collective action and the redaction of individuality in favor of collective impact foreshadow the act of true defiance and revolution. Non-participation, the only solution. But that freeze is too deep for the frozen. Those stuck like zombies in the system, their mission being only surviving from day to day. They have no time to think or consider any other way. The interplay of considerations too foreign, the deeper implications of systematic co-optation. Too boring when reality TV's online, and they still think their digital receivers are benign. An electromagnetic sea immerses we. Freedom only a distant dream when emotions are programmed like computer drives, and the means of control are invisible to the naked eye. Who believes the prophets when God is dead? Someone said. Jack. Their words of wisdom dismissed. Their holy mission misread. Personas reconfigured as conspiracy theorizing. Manchurian candidates listed by alphabet agencies as vagaries of democratic freedom unbound. Codified and denied the reality of cultural and political relevance. This dance of obscured meaning amounts to a steaming pile of refuse. The truth exists beyond proof, beyond belief. Discount the times, if you will. The world still turns, and the myriad ways of denying the days are getting fewer and more difficult to countenance as the devastation we call modern civilization continues to desecrate the earth, the place and space of tearing humanity's birth. This is the desert of the real. There is only time to chill. The damage has been done. No remediation, no saving the oceans, the animals. Global warming is a done deal unless the technology of the future is released. Just breathe. The question then becomes, which pill will you take? The red or the blue? Will you face what is coming and accept your just due? Or do you, like so many others, require further proof?
All right, everybody. We've got about 5 posts left, unless any of the people that have just joined us would like to read for round 1. In which case, let me know. All right. Okay, and then at the end of round 1, something we like to do is we like to take a big group photo. Big group photo. And then we post it on the page, and so everybody sees how happy you are and how awesome this was, and then like, damn, I should have gone. It looks amazing. You're like, yeah, you should have, but you can go next month and the month after that. So without further ado, we've got this guy hasn't been here in a while, and I'm actually really happy to see his face again. It's very cool. He's my friend. He's your friend. Everybody give her a Jack. Jack! Yay!
Hello. Hello. Solve people problems. Solve people problems.
Hashtag. Solve people problems.
Hashtag. Has anyone ever said, I don't even know if this has ever been done, used hashtag pound sign?
Yeah.
She got it a lot. Enough for the rest of you. So
You have to be old.
this is called My Passenger Seat is Empty for Kennedy. Invisibility and the caustic night haze. One more large American flag tangled up over one more car dealership. Roll the window down and freeze, or keep it up and suffocate. Colorless flowers make a delta on the road river. The flow is a throb, and I guess I need to quit. The loon soars. It spreads its wings across the dark and billowing sky, out past the refineries and beaconing rubble. The little cherubs drifting up to where lightning is taking shape. A fantastical strand of thorns that lays itself prostrate before me. My headlight fears and trembles around, and I skid into the median and tear up those little flowers. I light another with the hazards on, but it takes me a minute from the shaking. The hard and fast limit of that having just happened, closes my mouth. My phone is dead. My knee is sore.
All right, thank you. Do you want to go this round? All right, cool. Coming up next, we've got Nick. Is Nick here? Nick here. There he is. Everybody give her Nick. Yay!
Alright, a short one. It is a pleasure eating frosted flakes outside the balcony, knowing your wife is no more, and you can take the cab to Jupiter and yell for 12 hours to your symbolic ancestors.
Ow!
All right, thank you, Nick. All right, we got about 4 more left. Woo! So coming up next, we've got Sebastian. Yay! Everybody give up for Sebastian! Yay!
Cool. This is the second time I've done this. But I used to go to Texas State, so it's kind of cool doing it here. I actually live in San Antonio right now. This is cool. Alright. The who inside me. I have a hard time sticking to one topic. To make the focus of hand movements which slash lines that create these sounds you're hearing at this moment. What are the reasons I lack consistency? Let's look at what this mic consists of. You see it split not in 2 or 3 or 33, but in too many ways to count. And every second, every one of those pieces fights for sway of the myself that's going to be that day. Then all the train of thoughts that departed from those very parts crash and burn in a glorious boom of Ayn Rand's wildest imagination. From the wreck, those thoughts with no weight, they just float away. How unproductive, she'd say. I'm sorry, Ian. There's only so much these hands can hold till a leak erupts from the slits of my fingers and disappears through the cracks of the world. I give myself, no, I surrender myself to this world, to the fear that, with audacity, sprouts from its soil, our soil, as we are all dust, and to dust we shall all return. Fear, though, that eternal curse shall always remain in the darkest of dark and the lightest of light. So what must we do? We fight, day by day, night by night. Hold up. Let me pause this motivational speech coming from the lips of a hypocritical beast, a beast of burden, burdened by fears of dreams stuck in dreams in the coming of years, and in the end dying with nothing but tears. Tears from the man who lies here within, who I'm unfortunately not too familiar with. I think that's why I'm here, not just to speak these words for y'all to hear, but to get in touch with who's inside of me.
Oh, great!
Thank you. That was my phone. Look at the sun.
Oh, hey, is that a short one?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
See how big it is? How bright? How powerful? Turn away from me. Don't bother trying to please me with your smile, your body, your luring eyes, and look into that star one more time. But just for a sec, I wouldn't want you to hurt your eyes. Then make your dreams every bit as big, as bright, as powerful, and shine that accumulated mass that never stops burning for the world to see, including me. I'll be doing the same. How great it'll be.
Awesome, thanks, man. If that was your second time, you should keep doing this. Because that was good. All right, so coming up next, we've got Will. Everybody give Will. Yay! There's a Will, there's a way.
That's in my will. Okay.
In the present. Hands together, held, without a worry inside, having that love. Following your feelings, letting nature happen with ease, making that care. Giving to each other that kind of comfort and solace you find, share, and hold for today and tomorrow. Bliss captured, smiling after kissing one another, filled with feelings, total and complete, laying down with to dream, keeping each other without doubt.
All right, y'all. Okay, I promise I'm not a liar. We've got 3 more poets. People keep coming up.
Yeah,
That's a good thing, though. So coming up next, we've got George. Everybody, give it over George! Yay!
Give it up for George. Give what up for George. I'm absolutely frightened of each one of your fragile, precious faces, like my life. Fleeting this very moment, never happening before and never again. What of it? Like the gospel rapper propaganda said, don't listen to me. And then the rest is only poetry inspired, thereby I'm only trying to impress you. Hypocritically undress you to see if you're just as ugly as I think I am. Yes, it's awful to be this vulnerable to you. What am I so scared of? They're listening, they're watching. Who are they? What are they planning for us so-called useless eaters? Have you ever been heard that you're called a useless eater? They say there's too many of us, yet their oil wars are facilitating this. Too many of every fragile, precious one of us. There's gotta be something more to say, right? There's gotta be something just it's just within my reach, right? I almost got it tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the day I'm gonna change. I'm walking down San Antonio Street to my friends. They're like, dude, we'll leave our door unlocked for you because like it's all God stuff. So if someone comes to steal our stuff, whatever, they're stealing God stuff. It's cool. Like, wow, that's pretty precious. I love those guys. And I cried at his wedding because I thought of that girl. Like, wow, that girl deserves so much better. Not the woman who was getting married, the girl I was with at the time. Like, wow, this wedding is like tearing me up. And the little kids playing. Wow, we all used to be a little kid. And I don't know how I would do with an Austin poetry slam if I were to say that saying a life starts anywhere after the sperm meeting the egg is arbitrary. Like, think about it. At 2 weeks, that's when life starts? At which second, at which nanosecond of that 2 weeks? How arbitrary? Thank you. I'm sorry.
9.9.
And that is exactly why I always ask you, are you going to read? Are you going to perform? That was great. Thank you, George. All right, coming up next, we've got Nicole. Everybody give her Nicole.
Hello. So I told myself I would never do this unless I was really, really, really proud of a poem. And I'm not really, really proud of this. But I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Peer pressure. 10 minutes. I say, hanging out with you is effortless. He says he could hike a mountain with me. I picture Mount Everest in freezing temperatures and jagged peaks. If he wants to come, the hike is going to be cold and extensive. I'd rather go alone. But company is comforting. I tell myself, you don't want to be comfortable. You want to reach the summit alone before taking someone with you. I need a partner to picnic with my rebel before agreeing to the advance. I don't want to be left alone at the summit, or worse, to leave someone else hanging. I've already hiked myself into hanging too many times. Affection-fueled companion at my side, attempting to reach the top. I used to think firewood crafted from affection was essential to fueling my fire. Now I know that the fuel it'd take to reach the peak is best crafted by my own slow, shaky hands. I'm not sure if I even want to reach the top. Maybe I just want to find a flat spot, surrounded by fearless green foliage and fluffy bumblebees. If someone wants to climb there with me, that'd be okay, I think. I don't want them to reach the flat, pretty place and look longingly at the summit. Disaster manifests itself in that hopeful golden glance. I don't want anyone's expectations or confident contemplations. I just want to amass to adore the scenery. He tells me no one said you couldn't be free. I wish I could say, just cage me.
That was great, thank you. All right, everybody, we're at the last poet for the night. For the night? No! No! Shut your blasphemous mouth. All right, and so then after this poet finishes, what we're all gonna do is, as many of us as we can, we're gonna all come up here and we're gonna take a big old group photo, and it's gonna be just the greatest thing ever, and everyone's gonna be happy and smiling, and you're just gonna make everybody wish they could have been here, and it's just gonna be great. So without further ado, we've got Nicolas. Everybody give it up for Nicolas! Yay!
Yes. Thanks, Scott. Whenever technologically one. Yeah, whenever it's ready. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hey.
Yo. What?
Yo.
Oh, what's up? Anyway, I just want to say, last time I think I was really kind of off-center, and I think I know why, and I think I've kind of solved that now. But anyway, we all kind of know what I like to do, so without further ado, Grease. Grease. Oh gosh.
Here we go.
All right. Okay. You ready for this? I'm gonna take another drink. I'm ready. The grease of the kebab from the cafe local on the sidewalk where I stepped. I carried the grease with me on my fingers from that experience of eating that beautiful Greek woman with the curly hair and red lipstick.
escaping from her father's clutches of an old world 7,000 miles away, carried with her to New York City under pressure of culture and identity of the impression I make of grease on grease that I eat and I consume. And as she consumes her own culture with her loathing, I consume her culture and her beauty. She is as Aphrodite. She is as all the goddesses that the Greek culture was based upon. They compare themselves to in that impression of woman. And I walk to my apartment each day and pray to my altar of Aphrodite.
All right. It's that time, everybody.
Hey,
we're gonna take a group photo. This is gonna be awesome. Thank you so much. And then we're gonna get me back here at like 8:50 or so. That'll be round 2. Thank you so much, y'all. Also, please take a picture with us. I want to see your beautiful faces. Buddy,
Oklahoma.
it's that time. It's round 2 time for San Marcos Poetry Night. Just in case you forgot, my name is Potato Mike.
Yes,
I'm the host with the littlest. Did you make it? Okay, a couple of people got that. I don't know. Wait. Anybody? Okay, wait. I don't know where. I was trying to go with the most. Never mind. I'm thinking about that too much. Time to move on.
Funny you should say that.
Yeah. All right. Just gonna go straight to it. Everybody, give her a Thom. Yeah, you know it.
My second poem. Okay. Do you remember years ago we were talking about Greece and the current state of the economy? Well, we're not going to do that. I want to talk about a little place that you've never been called Salado. You've been.
Yes.
Your work's been performed in Salado.
Yes.
But why? What relevance has this got to your contemporary reality? I'm a fantasist. I project ideas as possibilities, potentialities. But in this case, on the 25th of July, there's a little bit of reality where fantasy comes together. It's called Poets' Night. What's Poets' Night, Tom? If you make your way to Salado, 103 cast members will be reenacting the history of Salado from the Tonkawa Indians through the Spanish, right up to the Civil War on the Confederate side. Take that, Confederate flag. Because the South was Confederate. It was.
Yes.
But they lost. But they really didn't in their minds. So what they do is they reenact the history of Salado, and they've done this for 23 years, and for 7 of those years I have gone with a parcel of poets, a packet of poets, what do you call it, a crow of poets, a parliament of poets, a posse of poets, a murder of poets. We'll have no murdering poets. But I've gone with a small container of poets. We sit in a row, we clap, we stand up, and they acknowledge the poets of wherever they're coming from. That includes every person in this room. If you wish to be identified as a poet, you turn up in Salado on the night of the 25th of July, which is a Saturday night, for the second performance of Salado Legends, which is the story of Salado. It's in the Library of Congress in the Smithsonian. It's one of the best outdoor historical dramas in the whole of the United States. What do you mean a civil war? That was very uncivil. Anyway, it doesn't matter who wins or loses. What matters is on that night, you'll see horses and carriages, you'll see sculptures, you'll see mermaids, you'll see Tonkawa Indians, you'll see people impersonating people. As you sit there, as you're sitting here now, things will change. You will learn the history of what's around you in Salado, which was, of course, the site of the first male and female college in the whole of Texas. Don't have to believe me, the ruins are still there. That's what happens when you put them together. Anyway, it's true, it's a concrete poem. Anyway, this is an invitation. This is not just a prancing Penelope of possible potentialities. This is an actual invitation to every person in this room to come up to Salado on the 25th of July, Saturday night, and from 8 o'clock to sit as you are sitting now and watch as people fresh womb hatched up to the age of 92, 103 cast members, all volunteers from the city of Salado, reenacting their history, as we are reenacting our future right here and right now. Some people, to quote Patti Smith, I ain't fucked much with the past, but I fucked plenty with the future. To quote Keith Richards, I never turn blue in someone else's toilet. To quote Lou Reed, my week equals your year. To quote every person in this room, what you're making and creating is a flying carpet when we go into the future. The past is what happened behind us, is a long string of mistakes. Come out on the 25th of July and make mistakes with us, as we watch all the mistakes of the past be reenacted by volunteers just like us.
Thank you, Scott. All right, thank you, Tom, and thank you, Scott. All right, if anybody did not read round one and would like to read for round two, just let me know, or you can come up here and sign the little sheet thingy. All right, so coming up next, wait, it's this guy again. It's this guy again. All right. It's this guy. Hey!
Yeah.
All right. I was really bored a while back, and I started writing about fruit. People liked it, and so I turned it into a poem. This is called Still Life with Fruit. A bruised banana that doesn't realize it is still good and nutritious. A banana split melting in the mental ward.
Whoa.
A man in a banana suit running the Bank of America. A banana in a man suit in charge of the monkeys at the zoo. A worm hidden in the apple of my eye. A bullseye on the apple atop Eve's head. An apple-flavored sleeping pill endorsed by Snow White. A rotting apple pie on a foreclosed home windowsill. A sweet peach that was grown from a bad seed. The peach of life dangling from the highest branch. A peachy keen outlook in a brutal, blunt world. The peach of immortality becoming forgotten to the mind of man. A servant poisoning the royalty with the grapes of wrath. An overweight kid playing a game of marbles with grapes. A lone grape, drunk with the delusions of a wino. A sour grape, sober with the realizations of life. A bull, keeping all the plucked fruit one step away from earth. Thank you. You know, I just have to say, I like the groans just as much as the laughs. It fuels me. All right, so without further ado, give it up for Louise.
I looked for a Facebook post that I sent out last week. I thought, well, it's kind of poetry, but I couldn't find it. But the gist of it was, I don't know what you think about the Supreme Court decisions, but isn't it fun to watch Scalia's head explode?
Yeah.
There's another bell, and this looks really like a bell. It's a bell point. And I didn't plan it that way, it just turned out that way. The Alamo. Remember the Alamo. It is a cottonwood, you know. Become a symbol of defiance, a spur to Texas self-reliance. In plural, Los Alamos has come to conjure the atomic bomb. But I prefer the image of Cole Porter penning Roy's song to give the order. Let me be by myself in the evening breeze and listen to the murmur of the cottonwood trees. Send me off forever, but I ask you please, don't fence me in.
Thank you. And coming up next, we've got Robin. Everybody give it up for Robin.
I've been writing a series of poems based on reading Rilke. And now that I've said that, they're not as good as Rilke, so go read Rilke. But Nonetheless, that's what I've got left for today. I feel like a child arguing the translated Garden of Eden is perhaps a just metaphor for home. And my cat scratch at my imaginary scroll, they seem to say, there is no comfort outside the original language of a text. The tree of knowledge cannot be found here. Men and angels are mere transliterations under a sky which is only a perverse affectation of a dream from which we cannot wake in a forest where all are lost. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, coming up next, we've got Roscoe. You just had the one. Roscoe, just the one.
What?
Oh,
Roscoe. We want to
yeah, you hear all that? There's a lot of disappointed people, man. Next time, bring more. Yeah, next time, bring more. Next up, we've got Cynthia. Everybody, hear from Cynthia. Yay!
Mercy. Let's make things together, you and I, bridges and pies, to see which one helps us to the other side. Let's tell funny stories and laugh until we cry. Let's not be serious about anything. Leave that for the young. It's their turn to be beautiful, to send their voices strong and clear, to cry and care. Send the determined old to war. If the collective wisdom can't figure something out, then hand us the guns. Teach us to fly the drones and deliver the bombs. We can live with it our remaining days. The youth have lives to live, beauty to explore, their love to give. Let's not waste it on war.
Yeah!
Oh, I really like that. That was great. That was cool. All right, he's coming up next. We've got Debangana. Everybody give her Debangana! Yay!
Okay.
Oh, wait, sorry.
I read that before. I'm reading it again. Leaving the shadow behind. The sun shone at last on the incipient year, greeting the backyard, grass and breeze. And the little girl, dazzled in the garden, drifting and rolling, an endless effort to split from her own shadow. Little girl, don't you know? Bright meadows or darkening skies, you'll be together, the girl and the shadow. The moment she saw a long shadow casting a nest on the backyard, Ma! The little girl embraced her mother, hid in her shade. Did you win? Your shadow holds you no more? Laughter. Little girl, don't you know? Bright meadows or darkening skies, your shadow only circles you endlessly. Split, that long shadow will still cast a nest on the backyard that you want to leave.
I remember that one. I like that one. All right, coming in next, we've got Claudia. Everybody give her Claudia, yay!
I don't know why I did that. There you go.
Okay, I didn't write this poem, but I wrote it down. And if I didn't write it down, they would have forgotten it forever.
There you go.
So technically I wrote this poem. It's pretty short though, so it's good. Got a lot of centipedes fighting with my busy bees.
She was not kidding. All right, everybody, give it up for Scott. Great Scott, yay!
Earlier, out on the back porch, doing what I do at open mics, which is call from this image or that image and go into that dark place and try to remember what it was always that mattered before I heard it, but then at the same time tie what I heard into it. And I remember being 5 and jumping up and down on my bed with my mom as I sang I Am I, Lord La Mancha, and jumping into her arms, and how wonderful that felt. And for 40 years till today, I've thought I wanted to be the knight errant. I want to be Don Quixote. I want to charge the windmills. I want to visualize love as something chaste and pure from afar. I want to be the hero. It seems to me poems are always the recording down of an epiphany you never have. You're always just writing it down. The greatest poem ever written is, this poem is the epiphany. So as I'm visualizing myself jouncing up and down on my little horse out toward the windmill, I knew I didn't want to be Don Quixote anymore. I want to be the windmill. I want to be that thing that everybody sees as something else, but under reality, in the real truth of it, he's a windmill underneath it. Everybody says, oh, he's a dragon. He's a mystical creature. And so I go up inside it, and I climb up into the windmill, and I look out of the window and say, oh, there's that flippin' nut Don Quixote coming at me again. He's crazy, like all those other crazy people who think I'm a dragon. And the thought that comes to me when I go to sleep, or when I really want to go to sleep, and I lay down, and I can tell that somewhere there's a voice saying, come, it's time for you to go. It's time for you to come home. And yesterday, it was that I knew where I was going to was the place where all fictional characters live. The place Jorge Luis, my great dear friend now at this point, who talks to me and I talk to him. Michael Valentine Smith. Einstein, because I think he was really a fiction. Is it that we're always just past the windmill? Somewhere inside me there's a hero, but I can never put my finger on who the hell he is. It's not me. I'm no hero. I'm just a windmill. I'm just like y'all, totally crazy, nutty, crazy people trying to write something down that makes sense, but none of it. And then you think about love. And I don't mean romantic or sexual love, but the kind where time just sort of stops. And there's no more need to explain it. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. You know, Don Quixote is one of those books that I would like check out at the library, and then it would sit there and sit there and sit there. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna read this book. I'm gonna buy it because I'm just racking up the vines. And so I bought it. I went to half price and I bought it, and now it's sitting there. It's like, you're gonna read me one day. You're gonna read me.
No fines though.
Yeah. What?
No fines though.
Yeah, no fines. Exactly. Less guilt. Except when you look at it and it just stares at you. All right, so coming up next, we got Vasilina. Everybody give her Vasilina, yay!
Go Vasilina. I nearly died in the 41st during the bombing of Manhattan. That's it.
Damn, thank you. All right, coming up next, did you say oh no?
That's all me.
Yeah. We got Kelsey. Everybody give her Kelsey! Kelsey!
front row. We're good. Okay. I have a problem. I have this hand mirror. It's teal, and it broke off of a CoverGirl compact. I don't use CoverGirl. I don't even wear makeup, but my mom did. And this mirror was hers, just like my nose, the color of my eyes. I'm sure this mirror can tell. It looked at her the same way it looks at me, always held gently in our hands. I'm sure this mirror has seen us in our most insecure times and times we felt most beautiful, before important dates and on lazy days, in our strong moments and on our weak. In our week. But my mom never saw this mirror the way I do. This insignificant object that can't help but to constantly remind me of who I look like rather than how I look. I'm entering the 12th year since she made her exit, half my lifetime ago. This is half my life without her now I've lived since she died. And no matter how much I reflect on my past, I'll never see her again in my future. But I can look in this mirror at these eyes and maybe believe for a moment that they're hers.
Yeah!
Well, that's great. That was really sweet. That made me feel all warm.
Yeah.
Special inside. All right, coming up next, we've got Mark. We have Mark? Yes. Yes, we do. I don't know. Do we?
Moi?
We do. Yay! And Mark is tall.
It's tall.
This piece is called Angel Tears. Somewhere here, there are angels, and guess what? There are tears. No, that's not the point. That's kind of like a sigh. Right. Is this love, this low-level warfare of souls, the higher dimensional fanfare of oneness, the forgotten goal, lost amidst the trials and tribulations of daily life, forgotten within the traumas and painful episodes of daily strife? When do we find the truth of things, written in the stars as etheric bills do rain? The angels watching over us, tears softly falling, their heavenly songs to sing, as days pass by and time's pendulum continues to swing. Trouble, trouble casts our days as thunderous storms roll through, and we refuse to change our ways, denying the quirks that others see so clearly, while proclaiming righteousness in words and actions, unaware that judgment is near. Who love so truly that they know who they are, intimately aware of their foibles and issues. Self-knowledge as close to lived reality as the most distant of stars. As the brightness intensifies and the world itself transforms, some choose ever to densify, to double down on the norm, refuse to see the defamation of their own spirits, the sublimation of higher merit, hosting dysfunction like a trophy while soul's urge continues to flow free, denied expression day to day, as love's full vision continues to play. Some were distant, beyond our kin. Those angelic tears are falling once again.
All right. Hey, Morgan, and yes, are you gonna? I thought y'all were going. Yeah, you got him going. All right, everybody, give it up for Morgan! Yay! They're not gone! Yay!
Morgan forever.
Sorry, I didn't know we could come back in. Alright, okay. Alright, well. Sure, okay, what should I have a bunch.
Well, that's good.
Nerve-wracking. Okay, would y'all rather have something
intangible?
Player hits.
No, I want a deep cut. I want a deep cut.
Yeah, would you rather have something
Is that a knife reference?
I have one that I can do that's like in honor of someone that's sweet, or I have
Do that
something
one.
that's I have one that's biblical.
Yeah, do that
and
one.
sweet,
The
and
little-
then
Something dumb.
I have another angry one. What?
Honor of someone.
Little dove. Okay.
Little dove, yeah.
Okay, this one was written for one of my very best, closest friends, and she's like my baby, and she's the one that got me into poetry writing, so It's called Little Dove because she's my little dove. Little dove, you exist in color. You bring vibration to a world that knew only stillness. You are the water lilies that inspired Monet to cry into his paintbrush. A wake-up call to the sleepy dreamers. You are the peeking sun that breaks through the weeks of stormy comas. The beauty of light that beckons the manic depressive out of bed. Vast constellation, without you, cloudy or clear, Van Gogh would only have a night. Sure, there's a reason he cut off his own ear, but greatness isn't meant to be understood, just appreciated. The saddest stars shine the brightest, and little dove, you are blinding. Even with a broken wing, you harmonize with the wind that waves through the leaves of the trees that greet you good morning. And truly, it is good. I will be your sling. Those wings I was born to protect will one day fly again.
Aww. All right, coming up next, do we have? I'm still gonna call you Love Man.
I actually really love that.
Yeah. All right. We'll give it up for Love, everybody. Yay!
All right, guys. So I didn't bring that much with me today, but I have 3 haikus.
Oh yeah.
Right here. Because I mean, I just, obviously you fall in love with haikus. Why not? So here we go. Upon laying eyes, endorphins quickly released. I felt very unwell.
Okay.
Number 1. I actually only needed 2. Alright, the sound of your voice, the way you like to teach me, I adore your small face.
Aww. All right. Coming up next, we've got Jack. Everybody give it up, Jack! Jack Attack! Yeah!
Hello again. All right. That's gonna be a weird picture.
Exactly.
Well, these are the lyrics to a song, but being in a band is frustrating because no one's listening to the words.
That's the truth. That's all we got.
It's inspired by my dad, but don't be alarmed.
Ah, Mr. Corcoran.
Autumn always brings a little fall. The voices in your head sure like to talk. If you're scared to live the dream, wake up, but try not to scream, though the shadow on your bed is really tall. A train is picking up some passengers, and one of them you know will not return. When you look at her, the world around's a blur. You help her with her bags, but not her purse. She says, no thank you, I can get that. Well, time is running out for you to die. You gotta do it soon or you might cry. Tell all your friends that you loved them till the end. Text your mother, say she did the best she could. When you look out of the window, what you see will always be as beautiful as me. Either leaves are turning brown, or there's trash if you are downtown. There's nothing else to say but all to be. And then the last verse. Dawn don't feel the same without a sun. Sex and drugs and rock and roll aren't fun. If love is like a war, then you're a samurai warrior, and you write your name on every inch of gun.
All right, thank you. Anybody that's just joined us, if you want to read, do you plan on reading, sir?
I'm kind of suspended by.
All right, cool. Well, if you do, Sign-up sheet's right here.
Yep.
And there's a round 3 too, so you got plenty of time. And also, what you're drinking probably helps too.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's always a good thing. All right, so coming up next, we've got Nick. Everybody give it up, Nick! Yay!
Time has finished me like a dark lord's unsuccessful attempt at telling the truth to his slutty backbone at the local Chick-fil-A. 40 minutes after the casual sex was interrupted.
All right, thank you, Nick. And you know, all the poets that are on the list now, I do not see in the room. You're hiding, yeah. You got more than one?
Yeah, I found one more.
Okay, that's what I like to hear. And also, okay, so there's going to be 2 more, and then there's going to be 3 more. Yay! All right, and then there's going to be Nicolas. So if anybody knows where Nicolas is, tell them there's like 3 poets. No, nobody. You just no. All right. Well then, coming in next, we've got George. Everybody, give her George.
Yeah. Anticipating the applause to expose to you how very scared I am to say, Mike checking you out at the checkout like I trust myself to pull out in time but not budget pull-ups.
Yeah.
And Islamic State in Syria, Islamic State in the Levant, is a creation of Western intelligence agencies who seek to destabilize this world and have their occult order out of chaos mentality play out on our useless eating and divide and conquer fighting amongst each other. It's not that I don't love you, I'm just not in love with you. And wow, like, why am I so scared to say it? I'm shaking at the knees, I can barely even take it. There's gotta be something more, right? Uh-oh, I said it the last time, I'm getting nervous. Didn't really help, but help. And there's some other thing that was clever and witty and might start a critical mass and revolution, and where like, hey, we see through your tricks, occultists? Oh yeah, that's what I want to say. If the Christians are wrong, what would you say if you had the chance at their pastor's podium? If the New Agers are wrong, how would you lead their meditation? There's a mosque on Comanche Street. That's interesting. Why do people still say all religions are the same? It obviously doesn't make sense. What else? Something really important about depleted uranium or soil depletion or the way that we can afford this luxury to laugh at insensitive things like we're quoting YouTube videos and Family Guy episodes as indigenous languages in Australia are dying. Think of the opposite ends of that spectrum. Isn't it really sad and scary? Like how I feel on the inside. Don't believe me when I tell you I'm okay.
All right, thank you. And coming up, well, I need to control my volume there. All right, coming up next, we've got Nicole. Everybody give it over to Nicole. Yay!
I wrote this like 3 years ago when I was in love.
Oh
yeah.
TBT.
Let's hear it.
It's called Embracing Perspective. Intense. An honest hand brushes against my pale cheek, revealing truths infinite and unknown, like the fragments of dreams, dreamt only in the still of the morning, and remembered solely in shattered pieces, triggered by the simple sound of naive children laughing, or extracted from the impossible scent of an empty bus seat in the middle of November. A graceful body tugs gently on a gray blanket, adjusting the temperatures of our tranquil souls. Hearts interlaced like the thread in an intricate quilt, fashioned from the faultless hands of an expert grandmother, and sensibly planted in the sticky hands of an oblivious toddler who's placing 5 fingers on a lollipop and 1 finger in his nose. A slippery sphere slides down my naked shoulder. It was the autumn rain, lyrical upon its regression, falling flawlessly into the curious twilight, and the mellow fog swept over the valley's jagged edge, capturing my attention like a catastrophe. You fell flawlessly into my unpretentious perspective, secure, steady, and sublime. You became my horizon. You're all that I can see.
Thank you. All right, we've got these 2 more poets, and that'll be the end of round 2. All right, so coming up next, we've got Jaime. Everybody give her Jaime!
Oh man.
Oh yeah, he's my best friend for tonight.
Yeah.
And for the rest of the week. And for, yeah, for the rest of the week too.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's a good deal. Best deal in town.
Alright, these will be 2 short ones. They're whips through encouragement. I decided to read them. Letting out in order to open, close the hands that sweep. Carry off that was present time. Old news can be a welcomed hope, a welcoming at present and old news when exhausted and used. Seconds. Alas, that is all that exists when attached. A consumable, shoes, cars, food, paper, people. Oh, what it is to think that love be something to consume. A person, a love like that of a radio, only to be heard when it suits another.
Ooh.
All right, thank you. And our final poet for round 2. Everybody give it up for Nicolas. Nicolas, yay!
Scott. Oh, Scott's not here.
Aha, let's go
find
him.
him. How's it going? How's it? There you go. How's it going?
How's what going?
Good.
How's what?
You're going great.
What?
How's what going?
Good?
Great.
Thanks.
Thank
Thank you.
Now we work that out.
Anyway, okay.
Costello over
Air
here.
conditioning.
Oh, air conditioning. Okay, this is a perfect for Texas. Yeah. The air-conditioned mind was found at the bottom of the water glass in condensation beaded on the fingertips as it traced down and down and down to the end of the glass. The glass was not half empty nor half full. It was empty. It was a paradise. It was a paradise on itself, that frozen little apartment. It gave me precedent to have a present and a present of the present, against the odds of the hot summer's day falling beneath my feet as it burned my calloused hands and feet. And I fell into that spell of longing for another reality that was not the sun, nor the air conditioning, nor the condensation. I wanted something real, such as definite rain against that tin roof, or something tangible, such as the snow, on a ground that was on a strange land I'd never experienced. I did not want air conditioning. I craved a different environment, one where air conditioning did not have to exist to cool me down. I wanted to be heated up inside and out.
All right, everybody. That's the end of round 2. Yay! Awesome. And so, yeah, we'll come back in about 10 minutes, which should be 9:50, I think. Does that sound about right, people? Yeah. All right, yeah, 9:50.
And now he accumulates stuff and he burns it. So that way he can go back.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
I don't want burn.
I hate to stop all these beautiful conversations that are happening.
Oh, why? Then why are you talking?
Yeah. Because it's round 3. Thank you so much for sticking around.
We got some new voices too. Yeah.
All right, awesome.
Yeah.
What's your? Are you on the list?
He's on the list.
Awesome. What's your name?
Connor.
Connor. Awesome.
Yeah.
I see Connor. Cool. So without further ado, let's just kick this off with Thom and Scott. Hi there, Thom and Scott.
Do you remember I was talking about the past? But that was a long time ago. The only reason I go back, because people shook me with epiphanies like W.S. Rendra, this Indonesian poet I met, who lived on a commune in Jakarta. His famous poems are Prostitutes of Jakarta Unite, the Ballad of Maria Zaitong, about a prostitute who's out there and rejected by the priest, rejected by the lawyers, rejected by everyone. She goes into the stream and she meets the bridegroom, and the bridegroom said, "Come to me, Maria Zaitong, I will have you as you are." Evgeny Evtushenko met him twice, University of Melbourne, University of Texas. He wrote the fabulous poem, which is about uncertainty. I live between the city of Da and the city of Niet, the city of yes and the city of no. I live between everything. And I don't mean things, because things are so tyrannical. Even an idea or a concept is a thing. Even uncertainty is a thing. So I live between. I know some people are very certain about things, and I run away from them. Because as soon as you're certain, it's like real estate. I'm a projecting fantasist, and I cling to the lines that save me. Like Morris Strangard, a poet who has now joined the other poets in heaven. He said, you don't have to apologize for touching. You know when you brush against someone, and you go, oh, I'm sorry. And Deborah Hall, recluse poet, who will not read her works in public, but writes diamonds like this. To question is always right. To dream, to think, to inquire. To cast aside darkness for light, even involves treading the high wire. Too many people just don't want to know anything except complacency. They're smug, they're grey, their life lacks a glow of interest, their life seems a fallacy. It can be a tricky trapeze act sometimes, not knowing how far to walk one's curiosity in another person's mind, whether the stalk response is unrelenting or stand a leash, employing tact. I couldn't be with someone who locked away their mind and numbed their senses. Keep flowing, querying, bubbling over the light of the sun rays. Keep thinking, projecting, feeling, living fully, feeling always. When I was handing out poetry on the street, this woman handed me a double LP. Sorry, kids. It was of the Dutch poets. During 1965, when Allen Ginsberg met Simon Winkeloo at the Royal Albert Hall, and everyone chanted together, and the whole world was angelic. Don't live in the past, but it happened. Hans Plomp was that anarchist painter in Amsterdam, part of the white bicycle movement, which inspired the yellow bicycle movement. And he wrote this invocation to the goddess, which stamped itself on my soul so I could no longer ignore it. Wherever we look, wherever we go, the Holy Father rules the show. Tell us God, or Holy Son, where have all the goddesses come? So, I don't want no guru, no Jesus, no Mao, no monks, no Buddha, no Satan, no Krishna, no Zarathustra, no leaders on earth or up above, but you, forever sweet lady love. Women of the universe, only you can end this curse. Venus, Nahel, Isis, will you still allow all this? We don't need no tyrant fathers. We don't need no murdered sons. We need just Lady Justice, sweet Lady Magic to heal the sick and spinning planet. No Moloch, no Kronos, no Baal, no Allah, but Shakti, Astarte, and sweet Soraya. No leaders on earth up above, but you, forever, sweet Lady Love. And that is why I don't live in the past, but on the full moon and the Capricorn. I remember the lines of golden, the silver lines that saved me, so I can sing to the soul in this room tonight. Point and purpose of poetry is to speak the deepest truth, the finest visions that live in the core of you.
Standing ovation. All right, thank you, Thom. Is it a full moon tonight? Oh, awesome! Yay! I like driving home in that. That's gonna be nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So coming up next, it's this guy. He's this whole thing. It's this guy.
Yeah!
All right. Somebody, I was trying to think of a poem that I couldn't think of something to write, and then this guy just told me, "Why don't you write about something you hate?" And so I was like, "Well, I don't really like silence." So that's what this is. Silence is ugly. Noise is golden. Silence is stagnant. A break of beat. Silence is still. The lack of life. The wane of will. For silence speaks only of nothing, and the weight of our knowledge of the constant, expanding space. Noise is nourishing, a reaction and resilience. Noise is knowing, the celebration in creating, the glee in growing. For noise knows nothing of nothing, and sends notes like bottles out into the constant, expanding space. Thank you. Thank you. And coming up next, we've got Louise. Everybody give her Louise.
Thank you. Well, if you're in Austin, on Sunday, between 3:30 and 5:30, come to North Austin on Burnett Road, 5335 Burnett Road to Recycled Reads, the Austin Public Library Recycled Bookstore, and we have a wonderful, very literary poetry open mic at that time, and I hope many of you, if not all of you, can come to that. And then next Tuesday, in San Marcos, not San Marcos, the other way, Round Rock, Star Coffee on Main Street. There's an open mic from 7 until about 9, so there's a lot of stuff coming up. I was telling Scott earlier, and he didn't believe me. Did you know there's a 4th of July in England? Just look at the calendar. This is kind of a 4th of July point. And this sounds like somebody else wrote it, but I swear I wrote this. Patriotism. Play for me no martial airs, no stirring strains of war. Do not blindly wave the flag of fleet or troop or corps. Say not you are a patriot, and I am less than true, for I love this country well enough to show its flaws to you. Thank you.
Thank you. You know, there's a 4th of July in England. That's a dad joke. So I need to remember that one. All right.
How old is she?
She's actually 7 months. I almost thought you were setting me up for a joke at first. Yeah.
I was just curious.
Yeah. How old is she? Let me tell you. All right. Coming up next, we've got Robin. Everybody give it up for Robin. Yay!
Robin! Patterns.
loves, like stars waiting for our permission to fall back into anciency. Great love is never subject to overkill. Why are all of us not Gaspara Stampa, whose heartbreak we envy for its well-turned sonnets, which have endured through the ages? And yet, as our loves age, we do not feel, yet as our loves age, we do not free the beloved and continue on our way and endure ourselves, alone as we are in exhausted nature, unable to live up to our own sorrow. Thanks.
All right, thank you. All right, coming up next, we've got Debangana. Everybody give it up for Debangana! Yay! Woo!
Perfect name.
Great.
I just moved in a new house and these 2 poems are just after my moving. 4 walls of my own, like end of all thirst. Preparations to enter that beautiful world, a festival. Still assurance of rain beyond the wall. Even today, wet emotions clustering even on the wall inside. Another one. Let what remains stay. It won't thrive in the new home. What once thrilled within is silent now. Only a knot in the chest reminds, there it is, exactly.
You! All right, thank you. All right, coming up next, we've got Scott. Everybody give her Scott. Great Scott!
Green shirt.
This is my back cape. I wear it everywhere. I have to admit, this is sort of cheating. I'm working on a video at home, so since I haven't written it entirely, yeah, that's fine. Since I haven't, this sounds really funny.
It sounds perfect.
It does, though. It does. Okay. Since I haven't written it entirely, I figured I'd write it down, and then later on I can watch the video and just copy it down.
Clever.
So I figured that'll work.
Beautiful.
Very smart man.
That might save me a step. You know, it's all about efficiency, economy of effort. Sorry, that was for Chevy Chase. One day, the world's gonna wake up. One day, the world's gonna wake up, but I won't. And just as truly, one day, I'm gonna go to sleep and not get back up. So what would you have me do? How would you have me live my life knowing that somewhere I'm gonna get detached from the whole thing? Have no more semblance of meaning or understanding for it. I want to do it in rainbows. I want to do it in things so wide and open you forget the limits of them. Somewhere there's a place where my face is cold and gray and tired and dead. But I'm not there yet, baby. And I'm not going to be there for a while, so take a number. In lieu of that, in the meantime, I'm gonna stick my head in the machine where I need to and take it out to see faces so wide open I forget that they have any name. I've seen poets sing things so so heartfelt and made me want to take my heart out, set it on a table, and see. I've seen poets weep and sound other people's voices, and it's not just me, I'm telling you, other people are gonna go too. And I think about those who say they've gone or found a way somewhere. And I can't see none but caring. Setting all those things down that don't matter, just having a simple little thing like a smoke, or a nap, or a tamale, or a poetry reading. Someday the world's gonna wake up and it's gonna see that it don't have me in it. So I don't know, I don't care what they do about it really much. Someday the world's gonna wake up and know that they don't have you in it either. Maybe that's the tricky part. Maybe that's the part that makes us wonder, what do we do in the meantime? So please, sing it, let it out, let it shine. Let it burn so nobly and true that every star is envious of who you are, I tell you. There's a light in every soul I've ever seen or heard, and I'm just thankful, so thankful to have known them.
Yeah.
Yeah, duh.
Come on. All right.
All right, thank you. Yeah. Oh, there you are. Do you have another one to read?
I do.
Oh, I skipped you. I thought you were gone.
No skipping.
Yeah, no skipping.
No skipping.
All right, everybody, give it up for Claudia.
Yeah.
I feel kind of bad about writing this poem because I feel like the muse wrote it and I just let the words come out of my hand.
Yeah, let's do it. Don't feel bad.
Okay, this one is called Y1, Y2, Y1, Y3, Y2, Y1, B3, B2, B1, B3, B2, B1, Y3, Y2, Y1, whole poem.
Oh.
Be prepared. Night, times, sleep, company, time, moon, planet, trippin', see, you. Last night, old times, to sleep, your company, wasted time, moon, the planet, I'm trippin', can't see, of you. You last night, like old times, go to sleep, in your company, not wasted time, and the moon of the planet, but I'm trippin', they can't see inside of you. Your time with, I was just, didn't want to, waste more hours, enjoy wasting away, are the sun, on opposite sides, I'm not tripping, all that shit, the good stuff. Good time with you last night, it was just like old times, didn't want to go to sleep, waste more hours in your company, are the sun and the moon, on opposite sides of the planet, I'm not tripping, but I'm tripping, all that shit they can't see, the good stuff inside of you. I had a really good time with you last night. I came over and it was just like old times. I didn't want to go to sleep. I wanted to waste more hours in your company. Time you enjoy wasting away is not wasted time. How timeless we are, the sun and the moon. Best friends living on opposite sides of the planet. I'm not trip-ing, but I'm tripping on you and all that shit they can't see. Their eyes aren't focused to see the good stuff inside of you.
Okay, yeah.
All right, thank you. Yay. All right, Poetry Night, round 3. Woohoo. First, gotta keep psyching myself up because it's round 3 and I'm gonna drive home 2 hours. 4 more years. 4 more years. Yeah, all right, I'll go for that. I'm up for re-election. All right, coming up next we got Vasilina. Everybody give her Vasilina, yay!
Always told us what to read. So many things that reading, and then you just have 1 minute. So this is a breakthrough. The incumbent matter, Hierolymphy II, Bishopess of Rome, and the leader of the Catholic Church, had smoked some pot before the speech on the Trafalgar Square that she gave, advocating the rights of plants. The succulent among those present applauded wildly, and the passing bird left a dropping of gratitude on the sleeve of Her Holiness' white gown. You got it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Alright, thank you. Alright, coming up next we've got Morgan.
Me? Really? Okay, I gotta think about it.
Yeah, you, really. Yay! Everyone get a room, Morgan. Yay!
Thank you, okay. Sorry. It was Kelly. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, if you don't tell me, I'm just gonna keep saying your name. If you don't tell me that you're not gonna read, so.
No, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Except I'm gonna read. I just have a lot of things to read.
Wait, what?
So I gotta pick one. I guess we'll go with this one. It's not that happy, but it's alright. Right? Okay, no. 13. Unlucky, like all the Fridays that had you crossing your fingers and locking your door. You are not a fortune cookie, but rather a raven. Ominous and menacing, you are the bearer of bad news. The fire inside of you that allures is the same that destroyed my garden. I wept life into the soil as I mourned the pieces of myself that you carved out of me. Keep them on a keychain as I grow out of you. It's been a month, and I've slowly filled my hollows. A heart mended with cheap gauze, these puncture wounds cry out for you. Yet with decreasing intensity, I find myself playing with matches.
All right, thank you. All right, love.
All right, love.
Yeah, all right, love. You got another one, love. All right, everybody give up love. Yay!
And hold on, I have to find it because there's one more that I was like, all right, so if you guys call me up to another one, I'm gonna read this guy. It's not a guy. It's like just a regular poem.
Is it gender neutral?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm all about equality. It's on the spectrum. It's not even real. You know what I mean? But if I can't find this, then I guess I'll have to walk away and it'll be like regular. I guess. So, Alan, what's up with that, right?
You got it!
Dude, it's all in my Evernote, and my mom sent me this phone, so, like, I don't really know how to work it.
Do you need to call your mom?
Probably, dude. If we're being real here, yes, maybe.
That's all good. You can call her.
You can make a poem about calling your mom.
Yeah.
Improvise a poem to us while talking to your mom.
Yeah, that'll be the poem.
Are we doing like a freestyle rap? Because I'm down with that,
George is still here.
Alright, alright, someone skip me. I'm gonna sit in the front.
Oh, you gotta do it. You gotta do it.
This is the perfect spot.
Alright, everybody give it over Kelsey! Yay!
Go Kelsey!
Jack, I feel like you're probably the only one in this room besides Jason and maybe Debangana that would understand this one. Because I see you at my dear little neighbor's house, that Elizabeth, by Funk Louise. This one's called LeBron James.
Woo! Whoa. Shouts.
LeBron's favorite foods are avocados and Thai dried fish chips. Sometimes he comes over and sleeps on my couch, following me every time I go into the bathroom and sitting on the counter while I'm brushing my teeth. He's a good guy. I'm actually always very happy to see him when I do. He lets me call him Libran, and he never minds just sitting.
Cracks himself up.
And he never minds just sitting around doing nothing. I should mention that LeBron James is my neighbor's cat.
All right, everybody give her a love, yay!
Let me preface this by saying that I do love you all, and you all deserve love, regardless of what you think about yourself. So I wrote this one a couple of months back, and this is before the whole, gay marriage verdict has come out, which I am so fucking elated about. So here we go. Why are they killing so many of us today? My friends can't get married, their bodies to bury. I'm wary of any government man. It's scary the power they have. With the flick of a wrist, they can end my life. Sometimes I wish I'd been born white, but even then the chances are that I'd be born a woman. To be a beautiful thing, to be told, be this way, just the object of misdirection. It's up to our generation.
All right, thank you. All right, Jack. Everybody give it up for Jack. Yay! Jack attack!
Jack is back.
Jack. Guess who's back?
Jack attack.
Guess who's back? Back is back.
Happy Jack.
Baby's back. This poem's called Tell a Friend. That was a joke on the Slim Shady thing. I'm going to be inspired by Scott Vanya for a second and improvise a poem.
Yay.
So if anyone wants to bum me a cigarette after this.
Advertisement.
So I was playing guitar at my ex-girlfriend's house, and I knew it was a bad idea. That's how you start a story. Essential details and an evaluative statement.
Were you drinking? If not, why not? Oh, yeah, he is now.
And I was playing guitar, and when I play guitar, I mostly do songs. And I was playing one that I wrote, and she wrote with her finger on the glass, because it was cold outside. Remember when it was cold in Texas? That was weird. Somehow I'm gonna marry you. Ex-girlfriend.
Ex-girlfriend.
Who has a boyfriend.
Yeah.
So that was weird. And I was really mixed up about it, because that's not like hitting on me in any sense. It's more like a premonition. But then it felt like she was hitting on me because she, with her hand, she wiped away the word somehow. Just, I'm gonna marry you. That was hot. That was really hot. But we broke up because she punched me in the face. And don't you hate it when that happens? It just makes you want to punch something. It's a cycle of violence. But yeah, she punched me in the face. I had gone out. I told her I was going to go out, and then I came back to our dorm. It was freshman year, and I knocked on the door, and she's like, opens the door, walks away, and it's one of those long doors, long dorms. So she's walking. I'm following her into her room. She turns around. I keep following her. As I turn around, I dated a Lone Star bottle. Yeah, she has turned around and she clocks me right in the jaw. And I was about this tall and she's about that tall, but it's still like, she had the angle, you know. And so we broke up, and for some reason, she says, I'm gonna marry you. Somehow has been erased at this point. And so, what can I do? Except play Whole Lotta Love by Led Zeppelin. No, but I was very mixed up about this, and I was having a bad day because of it, because I was very confused. And then I went back to my house, where my housemates had just done a show, and they were all on shrooms. Because young people will be young people. And this guy is evidently young. And he has guns. He was doing this.
Love guns.
Love. But I was feeling very mixed about this, and then they were all on shrooms, and it started raining torrentially. One of them long-ass Texas floods. And the wasps all came into our porch where we were smoking cigarettes, because that's what we do. And they were not approving of us smoking cigarettes on their porch. Because they know that they pay rent, they don't know that we pay rent. And so one stung me on the arm, and so I was like, hey guys, I just got stung. And then back then it was like big and, you know, gross. And my friend was like, hey, I got something that'll help. Lo and behold, he had Advil. Shrooms, yeah. And there was it was raining horribly. It was torrential rain, and there was a big, like the road right there outside of our house was flooded. It was like boom, and cars were still driving through it. One of them stalled because you shouldn't drive through 2 feet of water, right? And we were thinking about going and helping them, and then we like went out in the rain and we were like, fuck this shit. It was so cold. And then a fire truck comes, and the green and red and blue, and I didn't know they had green on there, but the green, red, and blue and white lights of that fire truck looked really awesome. And I forgot about my ex-girlfriend for the next 5 hours, talking about philosophy with my friend Nasser. And he's an empiricist. What are you gonna do? You know? Except have a fist fight in the rain. And I had a black eye, but you should see the other guy's fist. But the point is that friends will get you through the tough shit, and if anyone knows what that means, please tell me.
You know what, Jack? You just sort of skipped straight to like the grandpa stage, and then like the telling stories. You're gonna be a great grandpa, you know.
Like a good grandpa, or like
a great grandpa?
Great grandpa.
There's a qualifier there for a
If you're a really good great grandpa, are you a great great grandpa?
Oh yeah, I know.
Wow, we need to take shrooms on your porch and talk about this or something. That's what that is. An Advil and get stung by wasps and have people write on walls. Sorry. So coming up next, we got Nick. Everybody give her a Nick. Yay!
Yeah, I love this guy for some reason. It's that, right? You just got it. You got it. You got it, bro.
Oh my god!
How could I fall
also,
down?
that's why you're waiting on the side of it.
Into the mic.
And concept,
And into my soul.
and that's what pushed the car away.
Alright, we turn around aimlessly, doubting there was ever fire in the first place, until this new flash of refreshment came shouting above my head, making me question my existence back then.
All right. thank you.
I'm saying.
All right, George, we got another one for us. Everybody give her George!
Where you at, George?
You can do it, George.
That'd be a really cruel trick to play on me.
That's fair.
He's here.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
That's
the mic's right here.
I was going to find
You're the one that you told me
a
about.
dear friend, but that dear friend's gone, and I wrote this for him. Well, partially for him.
Dear friends are very skittish.
No.
I got you. Why did it take so long to get there? I don't know. You're really slow.
Calling Jason Johnson to the poetry. Jason Johnson to the poetry.
To the poetry.
Jason Johnson to the poetry, line 3. Jason Johnson to the poetry, line 3.
Manager aisle 7.
Can we get some discounts on generic value products? Discounts on generic value products. That's actually a hair brand. Anyways, gonna bide some time for maybe half a minute. Can we spare half a minute? How unimaginably complex half a minute is.
It's just gone.
Come on, Jason, where are you? I didn't find him. Maybe he's going potty.
Waiting up to Jason Johnson music. Alright, there he is. No. Well, maybe by the time. Great. Okay. Great. Let's thank his precious wife there, Kelsey.
Yeah.
Great. Alright.
Chant his name.
Jason, and you will, Jason. He's hiding. Okay. Wow, what a piece. Okay. Thank you all for being patient with silly old me. I'm not even that cool. Thanks. I hear you whispering about whatever. Ooh, last month? Wow. Can y'all get out of here with that talking? Remember last month? Anyways. Okay.
No.
I love you so much, my dear friend. Te amo mucho, mi amigo querido. Je t'aime beaucoup, mon ami chéri. Nina kupenda sana rafiki yangu mpendwa. I know a little Swahili, not very well. Ninafahamu Kiswahili kidogo si vizuri sana. I asked other people to pray for your typhoid since I was scared to be a fake Christian. On your birthday, we spoke on the phone for the first time after Skype and email. You asked me to pray for your country after the Nairobi mall attack by Somali group Al-Shabaab, Arabic for the youth. This scares me because I'd rather tell the truth. I want to chase it because it feels noble rather than sitting back and saying I won't go this round because I'm nervous about you. Oh, and also you because of I love the way you prayed for me and my lust and my love and my celibacy and my integrity. Please help me not fear and to more deeply appreciate your miraculous being here.
Wow.
All right, thank you. Coming up next, we've got Nicole. Everybody give it up, Nicole!
Can't scream like that anymore.
Can I do one that's not mine? Because I have one that's really short, but then I want to do one that's not mine. Nicole, I really like your dress. Okay, you all can pick, after I'm done this, to hear one of my favorite poems that got me into poetry completely, which is longer, or a shorter one by the same person.
Longer. Let's do long. I'm always about that.
Okay. Here. This one I wrote like a couple weeks ago. It's really short. My friend Evan, she's been through a lot, and she's sort of like picking up the pieces of her life right now. And she's got a daughter named Lydia.
Praise to her.
Okay. Lydia sleeps as Evan sweeps the floors. The doors in this house are all closed, and Evan knows in her soul that the dirt on the cold wooden floor is a metaphor. She vacuums and cleans. Her insides, they scream, but with happiness. She's cleaning up this mess, and she's not going to rest till the end of the line when the rooms, they glisten and her soul floor shines.
Teleporter time I would like a teleporter. Who do we have next? I should probably know that. All right, we've got Connor. Everybody give her Connor.
So sick.
Hey, go Connor.
So I didn't actually intend to be here.
Excellent. Good.
So the thing I'm going to read is not actually by me because I don't write poetry very well. But this is a tattoo on my arm that I have. It's by my favorite band. This is my favorite song, and it's gotten me through a lot of shit. So I'm going to read it to you.
Let's do it.
Thank you. I'm glad you did choose to read. That's what I like too about this. I think a lot of people don't, they just kind of show up and then they see it's very friendly. We're all like, we all love each other.
Hell yeah.
Cheesy as that sounds. And so coming up next, we've got, I can't read my handwriting upside down. That's who we've got. Is that anybody's name? Coming next, we got Ryan. Who's Ryan? That's Ryan. Everybody give it Ryan. Yay!
I totally believe in this guy.
I was at Barbarella's last night in Austin.
Hell yeah, I love that place.
It's up to like 4, and then I woke up probably at 4 today. And got on Facebook like everyone does, right? And so I saw someone was at like something called First Thursdays. I was like, I live in San Marcos. Maybe they have one of those. And this is what I found. So I was like, well, damn, I'll come. And then I was like, I've written poems, so I printed one off.
Cool.
Here I am. So, I could read you something from this book by Edmund Burke, and he's a way better writer, but I'm not going to do that. So.
Maybe.
Page 88. This is my bookmark, so I can remember that. All right. You know, you guys have all done really well, and I feel like you guys care about a lot more things than I do. So just pardon me if I'm not very political or informed about life.
No, you're beautiful.
All right. I'm gonna do it. Thank you. All right. The morning rushed in with stars ablaze. A cycle extended for yet another day. While somewhere outside a play was staged, some sea-set band breaking wave span upon wave. They had been going now for some time. The lookout had given to drinking and sleeping a try. But in circles was talk of going dry, among their cackling and their cracking of biscuits over wine. And each handsome excess that caked the porch molded itself in the likeness of its lord. And when every last rung had been duly bored up to the perch to eat through even the floorboards, they washed and waxed, but just like the laws which cuff our wrists and clench our jaws, which bind our hearts to fabricated flaws, that guide our needles into some dizzying draw. The rungs collapsed and our bodies dropped under the weight of just the slightest prod. But no boot had slipped till the thunder struck, and that cart derailed by the balding duck. When the proverbial dark night sunk over us, we sunk our teeth into loaves of luck. In questioning the old eye's gaze, to sink for sure those withered ways, we scribbled great in our fathers' names, who taught us always to complain. Oh, for justice rant and for justice rave, we talking birds in your floating cage, and taught us how to cut a phrase, and never laugh at those enslaved by novelty's arresting days, and the masterpieces of yesterdays, But echo proud and echo long, there is a place where I belong. Well, listen, child, I've heard your case. Justice is a bird, sky blue and unafraid. If you need your roots, you must walk your plank. To my eyes, every once bobbing boat has now sank. On yet unformed land I will claim my stake. The sea shall be my home and my grave, until the very last vat of whiskey is drank, when all solid things into the air fade. Thank you. This is... Say that I wrote that in a song. If any of you guys are actually song makers, I'd like to help you. You can help me make it a song. I just don't know how to do that. So, yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
I'm a song maker.
Wow, there you are.
Jack. No, Joe. Whoa. Yeah, there's no K in there at all, is there?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I go? Joe with the K. Yes, it's Joe. Over here, Joe. Oh, yeah, all right. That was a lie from the Ryan. Yeah. I'm not crazy.
Nope, not yet.
All right, this one's not really a poem. I just had a story sitting on the top of my head, so just figured I'd spin a yarn for you guys. I was in my parents' town over at their house in Victoria, Texas, and one morning I was going out there on a walk, and approaching from the distance, I could hear the sound of proof of a dark, terrible secret from Victoria's dark, terrible history. It was a clucking sound, and I knew exactly what it was. It was a flock of guinea hens. I'm pretty sure the town had guinea hens before the 1970s, but these hens, their ancestors who were living during this time, were survivors. In the 1970s, they had the Lone Star Beer had a huge beer festival called the Armadillo Festival in Victoria. And they decided it would be a great thing to try to do something called the Great Guinea Glide, which is when they picked up a flock of guineas in a helicopter, and the idea was to drop them from the helicopter over the town and let them gently glide to the ground. And they would have bets on which one would gently glide to the ground first. Suffice to say, when they let the guineas out of the helicopter, the updraft discombobulated the guineas, and their descent, their gentle glide to the ground was not quite gentle or a glide, for that matter. So a lot of them just went like straight to the ground. But a few of them survived, and one person who lived in the downtown area in Victoria found a small guinea hen shivering in a thing of bushes, just terrified. So they decided to keep them, and ever since then, in my parents' neighborhood, there have been flocks of guinea hens running around. And this particular one, they're kind of interesting to look at. Going back to my narrative, I see them walking towards me, and there used to be 2 flocks roaming around, but they've been getting picked off by house cats, and for some reason people keep stealing them. But there's about 7 of them, and they have there are 3 little baby chicks with them, so they are surviving and thriving in the middle of Victoria, Texas.
That's my hometown, everybody. That's where I'm from. I did not know that story. That is awesome. I mean, that's not awesome. Well, it is awesome. It is. I mean, it's hilarious. I know. I have not. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's great. Armadillo Fest. Okay, I'll do a little story. My dad was real big into the Armadillo Fest. We would actually go spotting searching for armadillos because he would race them. And they were huge in it. They had a real big, like my dad and his team were like one of the #1 teams in Victoria. And so what they wanted to do, is they decided to show the support. My mom, because she was like a sewing, genius, made me a giant armadillo costume. And I was like their mascot or whatever. And so at this time, there was also the soap car races. Is that what they're called?
Derby.
Yeah, soap derby box car races. Yeah, and so they're like, here's a great idea. Let's put Michael in the armadillo costume down the cart, down a hill. Yeah.
No brakes.
All I remember is like flying out and then just rolling and then just blur. But yeah, so it was fun.
Roadkill, that was a terrible idea.
Yeah, that would be a giant roadkill. Yeah, and then they would fry me up, and it would be great. It would be good eating. So all right, coming up next, we got our last poet for the night, everybody. Everybody give it up for Nicolas.
Would you mind? Thank you. So, hi again. So this is the last poem of the night. It's always sad to do.
You prickly pear.
What? Air pressure. Prickly pear and air pressure?
I said no pressure because you said it was like.
Oh yeah, I thought it was like. Give me
But
your
no, I
ball.
like prickly pear. Do prickly pear.
Yeah. Shop.
You.
Whoa.
Give me foul.
Give him
a bang, guys. Come on.
Oh, we got one. I'm thinking. Oh man. Okay, so I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I was kind of writing a poem today at work when I was supposed to be supervising people. And so I'm gonna fit prickly pear in it because it's kind of got a western.
Right in the clock.
Okay, so here we go. The delusional deep dust swirled against the atmosphere as his boots scraped against the dirt and wooden panels. He was guided out by the setting sun to meet his opponent, and in the quotations of the gun barrel spoke death. And an instant of life, the heartbeat and the gun rang simultaneously. And then there was no more life after each man heard death. It was over, and the prickly pears were still juicy, and they were still delicious in the desert. It was over, and he decided to walk the other way.
All right, everybody, and that is it. That is the end of Poetry Night. Thank you so much for coming out.